So today we're going to be going to Deer Lake, Minnesota. It's in north central Minnesota, and it is an absolutely beautiful lake. It's one of the clearest Minnesota lakes you'll ever see, and what we're going to be doing up there is we're going to be doing a lake survey. So what we're going to be doing is just looking around. We're going to be looking at the lake inputs. We're going to be looking at the history behind the lake, what the Lake Association has been doing in the past, and we're going to find out if there's a possibility of creating a lake protection program in the future, seeing if that's possible or what we would be doing if we were going to put a protection plan in place. We did see quite a few problems with the lake inputs themselves. Some of those problems include
there's some undercutting of the soil bank right here. This bank has become incised, and as a result, soil is able to slough down in. There's rock underneath there, but you can see the evidence of the tree roots sticking out as a result of soil erosion. That's kind of moved some of this material away from this little channel.
This is all erosion on the side of the road. We did see quite a bit of evidence of excess nutrients in the input streams. One of the biggest ones that was flagged in previous studies was phosphorus, so we were focusing on that one as well.
So from this point, this represents a nick zone right here. Water is stepping down over the course of about a foot, but further back here, the grading is flatter, has a little bit more meander, and the banks are pretty actively covered, pretty well covered with vegetation.
Today I had the amazing opportunity to sit down with Tom Brown and Tom Nelson, who are both long-term landowners on Deer Lake, and I got to ask them some questions about how they felt about living on the lake.
This is my 64th summer of coming to the lake.
Okay.
I came when I was 4 years old the first time and have come every year since. I've lived on the lake now just in the summertime. I'm a summer resident for the last 15 years.
Okay.
And I've visited the lake for 60 years as a visitor, and I've been living permanently on the lake in a home on the shore since about 1988, I guess it was.
Okay.
Well, there's been a lot more development.
Right.
We have 400 possible home sites. 300 of them are built on. Only 100 of those are permanent residents. So the impact on the lake just from the number of people has been greater. We've watched water clarity come up and go down, but there's definitely some issues with some lake clarity issues, which is, you know, the real value of your lake sometimes. So.
Little things that we've noticed, things like we mentioned before, there are no leeches in this lake anymore. There are very few as compared to when we were before.
Well, our water clarity and our water color. Deer Lake for years was known as the lake of changing colors. And during a rainstorm and this sort of thing, you can see each rock pile, you can see where the drop-off is and this sort of thing.
It's also a very popular fishing lake. It's a musky lake, a walleye lake, and bass lake. I don't think we have any lake trout, however. But there is quite a bit of pressure, even night fishing as well. This brings people that don't live on the lake, although people who do live on the lake are anglers as well.
I think one of the biggest concerns has been the neglect by government to enforce some of the laws that should be enforced as far as development is concerned on our lake. That not that people don't have a right to develop, but they develop within the parameters that are good for the lake.
Okay.
Yeah, and again, septics are a big part of that. if you mischaracterize how big your house is going to be and then put a septic in that's too small, that can be a problem, even though it is a new septic. We've done flyovers to identify problem hotspots. This has been effective in getting people to upgrade their septics, which is a big source of pollution in the lake. But there's quite a bit of pressure there, and that comes with the risk of introducing aquatic invasive species, which we have not had yet in any major way. Those are in nearby lakes, and so we need to be very vigilant to make sure that stuff doesn't get in.
I would say that my ultimate thing from your presence is the fact that you give us some direction of what we can do to help ourselves. You'll hopefully give us some ideas of what we can do to reduce the phosphorus load on the lake.
Yeah, that's important that we do education. It's important that we do this analysis, but even more important than that is the boots on the ground to actually do something about the problems.